Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's preview stream for the Frankfurt S-bahn add-on, which releases in just a week. I'm joined today by Matt and by Lukas. Say hello, Matt and Lucas.
Hello.
All right. I guess we'll take that. But before we get into the actual gameplay, I'm going to have to do some admin. You know how it is. I just wanted to make you aware of the current Xbox simulator sale that is going on. Started today, is running until May 20th, and you can get some awesome deals on the Main Hbf, which is 60% off, the MBTA commuter for 30% off, and we have 3 different locos which are all 50% off, namely the Santa Fe F7, the Dispolog BR 182, and the Railhead treatment train. But yeah, I'm going to stop bore you with our amazing sales, and let's jump right into the game.
Okay, well, let's. I'm going to keep an eye on the bars, and yeah, I am a bit quiet at the moment. Let me take a silly thing off. Right, how's that? No, that's not me.
Everything else.
Oh, I know what it is. Try it now. Yeah, that's better. Hopefully my audio is now better. Lucas, can you just say something and check your audio?
Yeah. Hello. Can anybody hear me okay?
Yeah, that looks good. You're in the yellows, right where you should be. Excellent. Okay. Welcome to the stream, folks. I'm guessing that you don't want to really be spending a couple of hours looking at our lovely faces. You probably want to see the game, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Let's do that then. So. Can you just say something and check your audio?
Hello.
Oh, hang on.
Anybody hear me okay?
Yeah, I've got my my stream on is not muted. There you go. That's better. Apologies for that. Right. Hopefully, we should be all good now. Right. So I'm running PC at the moment. Let me just update. We got these handy dandy labeling things. If I can ever find my mouse cursor. Right. So we are going to be playing on PC first. Then we're going to play a service on Xbox Series X. And then we're going to play another service back on the PC again. So, Lucas, do you want to just give us a quick rundown of the 3 services, just very briefly, what we're going to be looking at?
Yeah, so we're going to do basically we're going to do the service first, which is like the most where you see the most of the route. So an S8 service going from Wiesbaden via Mainz Airport and then to Frankfurt Main Station. Then we're going to switch over and do an S1, so the other side. Basically, if you look at the map in a second, you'll see that it's branched into multiple sections, and we're doing basically the other side of the river via Höchst. And then we'll jump back and do like a nighttime ICET run where we visit the airport, this long distance station, and go from Frankfurt to Wiesbaden.
Cool. So a bit of high speed, a bit of regular, and a bit of Xbox on the 430 as well. So good old mix. I think the one of the services is in the night time, isn't it?
The ice service is at night.
Excellent. Okay, cool. Right. So service-wise, one of the things I did want to just flag up is the full timetable is pretty chunky. 1,010 playable services and an awful lot of AI services in there. You'll see what that looks like as we drive on the PC. If you find that struggling on your PC, the reduced timetable is the one going on to the consoles. That's available on PC. So if you're having troubles with it for any reason at all, try that one. Remember that you do also have the layer selector that you can use as well for turning things on and off as well. That can help performance. It helps memory a bit less because you still have to load the entire timetable, but it can help with performance. So you've got a number of tools at your disposal to try and get the get the best experience on your machine. Console players just get the reduced timetable, and we'll talk about that as we go through. Right, Lucas, point me at the first service. What am I doing?
Yeah, we're driving in 430. So we're driving the new local, the new train, so the 430, and we are going to 717. So if you scroll down, no, just okay. 35817.
That's right. 35817. There you go. I just wanted a way of finding it. I'm going to go with custom weather just to keep it from getting suddenly dense fog on us. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Just because you were mentioning the sheer amount of timetable services or playable services, this is the most amount of services on any German route ever.
Yes.
Right? That's just this 1010.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Do we know how many layers in total that is, including the AI layers?
Oh no, I need to look, but I think it's like more than double that. Much more. Yeah. So we're in Wiesbaden. Wiesbaden is the state capital of Hessen. People always think it's Frankfurt, but it's actually Wiesbaden. And they also have a quite big station. They actually also have a direct connection to the high-speed line to Cologne, but I think it's only used by one train a day currently. Because there's just not that many people going from Wiesbaden directly to Cologne via the high-speed line. Demand isn't that high. Yeah, this is the 430. It's like a modern German EMU. Complete with all internal PIS and the things you can expect.
And you recorded the audio for this, for the 430?
Yes, we went on a small recording trip for the 430, that's correct. Oh, there's a nice tea sneaking in. Hello. Was a nice free?
So 406, right? Isn't it?
Yeah. A few
see the small preview window on Discord.
They use this as a turnaround station where they get cleaned and. Okay. There might be one more S-Bahn train coming in before you get the clear. Stations. If you look behind or outside map, you will. So behind us, if you turn around. This is really hard to explain. No, behind you now, to the left of the trackbed, basically. There will be the mastery location. So outside this station, the tower. You're looking in the wrong direction again.
Turn right. The other right.
Yeah.
Go
ahead. No, you were right just a second ago. Never mind.
Just outside Wiesbaden, you can find a concert hall, which is concert hall is it's a big storage looking hall that is used for concerts. And once you unlock the mastery, these concerts with live music will be part of this route. And it's just outside of Wiesbaden.
Are you looking at the stream, Lucas, to guide me, or are you looking at Discord?
I did first. Yes, that was my
looking at
mistake.
the stream is not going to help me. Given that it's about 10 seconds lagged. Oh, there's another train leaving here on the DMUs. Have I got a light yet? Or am I waiting for that one to get out ahead of me? Let's have a look at the map while we're waiting. Let's have a look at the map. This is an impressive map, actually. There's so many different ways and things that we can go in this one. You've got Frankfurt over here, which, as you can see, is just a behemoth. And this is the root of many, many problems and evils. It's a heck of a place. But you've got the airport down here, is it? Yeah, that's the airport.
Yeah.
Which you could drive through, or you've got the other diverting line through there. Then you've got Mainz in here. You've got all sorts of things going on, and Wiesbaden up here. So lots of different routes, and you've got this just line over here. I think this is S9, isn't it? This one, if I remember rightly.
Yes.
and S1 generally takes the top line, S8 generally takes the bottom line. There you go. Yeah, see, I did my research.
I think this train is the one blocking you.
Right, there you go.
Oh no, there it is. Too many trains in this timetable.
That's the choice of having a very busy timetable. You're gonna have to wait for other trains, just like you would in a real world situation.
Almost time to go. The Wiesbaden Ost.
You'll make up the time quite nicely.
Oh, the way I drive, I will, trust me.
Yeah.
Go.
Lukas, do you want to talk a little bit about your audio recording trip for the VR 430?
Oh, I just wanted people to listen to the sounds of the train first. That's why I didn't say anything.
I'm sorry. Stop talking.
But we can continue with facts and trivia now. So directly outside the station, we'll shortly cross under a road bridge that actually more or less collapsed and cut off this train station for, I think it was half a year, and they have now rebuilt it in a few years. So they had to as quickly as possible demolish it so the trains can travel again to the station and from it. But it was a huge chaos in this city. Yeah, we have a thing with bridges in Germany at the moment. It's not that fun.
Matt, can we turn game audio up?
Yeah, I just turned it up.
Cool, thank you. Please let us know if the audio levels for everything are good now. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Lucas.
Oh, all good.
So we have a total of 80 kilometers on this route.
This is the bridge that collapsed. This route is set before that happened, so it go on all the people in this world. But probably will not do anything. And now we sneak out towards Wiesbaden Ost and then to Mainz. And there's lots of flyovers, fly-unders. A lot going on here, as you will see.
That was one of the things I noticed when I've been playing through the route. It's just so many routes that crisscross and change. It's not just get on a track, stay on a track. You know, it's very much a mixed journey, going around, changing tracks and so forth. Very interesting actually to drive.
We're late, but we can't really blame Matt this time for being late.
I was held up. I was ready to go.
It is a Deutsche Bahn service, so
If it turns up, it's on time.
yes.
Yeah, you do go underground on this route. At the end in Frankfurt, you go into the underground station, and on the airport, the regional station is underground. So you got 2 underground stations on this route, which always are a pain for the dev team because everything regarding light in underground is hard and a lot of work. And it was one of the main questions why we didn't do the full S8 But that's mainly because there's 8 underground stations. I think it's 8 between Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof and Wiesbaden Ost. Offenbach Ost. So it's a lot of work. That just currently.
And in all honesty, we're probably with where we are, we know we are now. We probably have meant it couldn't come out at all on Gen 9 with all the extra light baking.
Yeah.
So kind of glad we didn't go down that path now, but.
Matt, what are your PC specs? Some are asking in the chat.
It is an i7 14th gen 14700, I think, 14700K, I can't remember exactly, with a 4080 GPU. So pretty top end, high-ish end. It's about a year old.
There you go.
Yeah, so that don't expect that section to be added at any time. Probably not gonna be able to make that fit. Yeah, now we cross, very shortly, we cross into another state of Germany, so we're in Hessen. Across this bridge we're now traveling to Rheinland-Pfalz, because Mainz is actually in another state. And then we come back over, so it's just a short detour. And this is the Rhine River. I mean, we did the left Rhine route, which went along this river. We've seen it multiple times in other DLC too. It goes through the whole of Germany.
Another tidbit: we have, if I remember correctly, 25 stations on this route across the 3 different lines.
Yeah, it's a big one. It might, if you just take like as the crow flies from Frankfurt to Wiesbaden, you think it's short. I think it's only like 34 kilometers, basically as the crow flies, but it's like 80 or even 90 kilometers of track in total, or like different lines of track. So there's quite a lot in here.
The route also comes with the DBBR 430, which we are currently driving, which you're currently seeing, as well as the DBBR 423 and the DBBR 143 and the Dosto wagons. It's the included rolling stock.
This is a very awkward station because it's basically built into the middle. They are actually planning to replace this a little bit further down with a proper station because it's not really accessible, and there's also a big incline on the station, so you don't really want to stand here with like a stroller. It'll just roll away. It's a bit of a safety hazard.
Kind of sounds like a nightmare, yeah.
But it takes time. I mean, they're building Stuttgart 21 with like a...
Don't get me started on Stuttgart.
with a big incline on the station.
I thought it would be a good idea to make a underground station with no elevators and stairs for your escape, fire escape. Absolute Darwin award.
Had a couple of questions coming in about what's in or not in the console timetable, the reduced timetable. We'll go through that when we've done this service. We'll be doing one on the console, on the Xbox Series X, and we'll show you, give you a tour of that timetable before we get started, so you can see for sure.
Have you done the horn yet?
Yes.
So this bit here, we know this bit from linke Rheinstrecke, left Rhine. But it's actually a bit different. The flyover we're currently going over, that didn't exist. So this area has changed quite a bit. Track has changed. A lot of the freight yard on the right is gone. So it's the same station, but it's quite different. And also the station building itself is completely different. They have completely rebuilt that. So same station, but not really. But if you've driven here, you'll notice some similarities.
I'm going to answer a few questions we got from our Q&A thread on our forums throughout the stream. Just whenever there's a moment in time when I can do that. One of those was a question regarding the model for the 430. Someone asked if this is a new model, and yes, the 430 is a completely new model. And as we said earlier, all the sounds you hear are also recorded by us. Lukas did a trip on the 430 to record sounds directly.
Yeah, I preferred the old station here. The new one is a bit of a concrete monster. But as per usual.
That's modernization.
There's a bit of a quirk on this station where you have the old underpass if you look down, and they are open, but they even say, like, not the underpass, not the overpass, man. There are even signs to tell you. No, if you look at the entry of the underpass at the top, there's like a sign. Oh, on the edge. On the opening. Yes, it's very faint. Yeah. Basically just use this in emergencies, but everybody uses it. And so we made the people also use it. And you can also use it.
Just promise you'll just use it in emergencies, right?
Yeah, obviously, sorry. Only use it in game.
I've yet to find a single or like sign like this in a railway setting anywhere on a station that is being adhered to. No smoking, no one cares. Don't cross the rails, no one cares. All these signs are just stress setting. They're just there to take space up on the wall.
Yeah, now we come to the new double tunnels. Yeah, on left Rhine there's just one tunnel here, basically. Yeah, the route ends here, but there's one tunnel, and at some point they extended it to a second one because the capacity was at its maximum. And so you got like the right tunnel, which is the new one, which goes completely all the way, and then the left one has an open cut and cutting in the middle. And they're basically used like this one goes towards Frankfurt, the other one away.
Someone's asking in chat how much time did it take to create this setup?
Oh, a lot. For example, this route now holds the record for most time spent on like track signals and virtually. So it's by far not the longest one we ever did, but it was the most amount of work, just because it's so complex and there's so much track crisscrossing.
Do you have just a rough estimate?
Oh, not really. It's hard to say because people work at all kinds of times, and the amount of people are varying all the time. It's just But this route was a lot of work to make, yeah. Yeah, if you look now to the right side of the train net then, from the outside, this station is basically, it's called Roman Theater because there's like an archaeology site, there's like an old how do you say that in English?
Oh, amphitheatre, this thing.
Amphitheater, yeah, exactly. So it's like cut into the middle, and on the platforms you can also see where they changed the color of the platform to show where stuff was. If you go, yeah. So it's like if you zoom out, you see.
Oh, so this is intentional, like design.
This is a design choice. This is not. Yeah.
It's good to know. Now you know.
So we're going down along this way, and then we're going by the airport, yeah?
Yeah, the bottom one, the loop basically, yeah. Small loop. Yeah, now we're cutting back over into Hessen. Over the bridge.
I do like this with the castle walls there.
Looks very medieval.
Yeah, they didn't want those evil Hessians coming over.
Someone asking in chat if it's planned to have Stuttgart in Trains the World. Oh boy, I wish. That would be my dream. But as always, if we've not talked about it, we can't talk about it. If it's not announced, it might as well not exist. We will announce any plans for any future routes whenever they are ready, and not sooner. So we, regardless for any other potential route you would like to see, we can't answer the question, when is XY coming to Trains World?
Correct.
But believe me, I do wish we had the old Stuttgart main station. That would be very nice.
HB flying through. Yeah, so the DPR 425 here takes place of a few trains. For example, all the services which are operated by a flirt, because we just don't have all the trains. But we do have quite a lot now. So the Lind is replaced by the Zero, but that's almost it. There's not much more.
Liam, all safety systems are on. No, there isn't LZB. If there was LZB, you'd see a cable down the middle.
But the route has a short bit of LZB. The long distance station. So if you drive through that, you get like 4 kilometers of LZB.
Okay.
or 5. Not much. It turns on and then it basically turns off again, so... Yeah, because people are asking, there's currently no plan to add the 430 to Fulda. So we're currently doing a lot of work on memory optimization for the game, and if that brings lots of fruits, we might go back to Fulda and see how we can optimize that route. And that might bring a possibility to edit the timetable, but no promises. Like that's far in the future.
We've got a long way to go before we can see, where we think we might get to with this. So we would love to say something more positive. Same for those saying, what about getting the full console, the full timetable to console? It's like we would love to do that, but at this point, we can't promise it. So assume that it's not, and we are carrying on with memory optimization work. I'm going to write up an article for Dr. Live talking about some of the memory challenges, just to try and help explain it a bit. So hopefully that will explain it a little bit more clearly. No, at this point, assume that that's not happening. We're learning a lot about as we go through with this process. That will help. Much like when we did Munich, actually, Frankfurt is considerably more optimized than Munich was. So these processes always advance the art.
Yeah, I was a bit sad when I looked at this signal in the game, because in reality, this signal is basically just Rust these days. So it's about to fall apart. It looks a bit nice here. But this is Bischofsheim, so there's a big freight yard here, and on PC the freight that you can operate does have a bit of action in here. And
sorry, Lucas, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that the RB 75 towards Darmstadt branches off to the right here, and we go left to Frankfurt.
I was just going to ask, do you know roughly how many cargo services there are?
Oh, I would need to look. Let me check.
On PC, to be clear.
Yeah, on PC.
Yes, on the full timetable.
It's not that much. Like the route is there's no space on this route for much freight. Like
it is a commuter route, but for those interested in freight services, just to let them know how much they can expect on the full timetable for PC.
Yeah, now we come to Opel Werke. So this station is a dedicated station for a car manufacturer. Big plant here. I think Opel is in the UK. It's known as Vauxhall.
Mm-hmm.
So you will see those right on the left here in a second. I've gotten off at this station to get reference, but I don't actually know if you can get out or if you need to get onto another train to leave it. Good question.
This is a station solely for Opel workers or Vauxhall workers to get to work.
Mainly, yeah. And nowadays they turn around the RB58 here, and it still has semaphores. You just saw, but they've been replaced. I think 4 weeks ago. So that time's also gone now. And just to confirm, there are 10 freight services on the full timetable. So it's really not that much. But there also isn't that much in reality. So no space for it.
There's a few people asking about what DLC is required for the extra layers. Have we got that written down in an article somewhere that we can share?
We do.
Yes.
I'll share that article in. I mean, if you want to share it right now, saying it, Lucas, I can share the article in the
No, just go and share the article. But I guess I can share what you need. So you need Frankfurt folder for the IST, which is like one of the biggest layers. Then you can get quite a lot of services with Main Hbf, because of the train. And then you got various other small ones like Untitled, Bremen-Oldenburg. And you get the Ice 1 from Kassel-Würzburg. And I think that's it.
Just want to say a big thank you to the moderators in the chat. Being quick on the uptake and sharing the article as well. And
Here on the left, there's a tiny semaphore, which is special. We had to model it specifically for this, which is a lot of work for one signal. But Matt, if you want to go look back at it, it's cute. It's very cute.
I'm not falling for your tricks, Lucas. I will do it when I've stopped.
Crap.
Worth a try.
Making Matt look bad is my prime purpose. No.
Explains a lot, to be honest.
There it is. Isn't it cute? Yeah, usually these arms are like 2 meters, and these are like 1.
Oh, is it this one?
Yeah.
Is it the same one? Because
this whole signal is basically tiny. If you go back and look at the other ones, the bigger ones, you'll see the size difference.
I was gonna say, is it the same one we can see in your webcam in the background, but we actually currently can't see your webcam. But I can see it.
I've got no clue where that came from.
I thought it was a replica.
Oh, no, yeah, it's a replica. Yes.
Walter asks, is the connection between Frankfurt Flughafen Fernbahnhof and Frankfurt Flughafen Regional Bahnhof available?
No. That's actually like a 6.5 minute, 7 minute walk in public. So that is, and then there's like a whole airport in between. So that would be like almost a DLC on its own in terms of modeling work. No, not quite, but there's a lot. So no, we didn't model that. No. It's quite easy to go between stations.
Just going through more forum questions, and I'm paraphrasing a question here. Why specifically did we pick Frankfurt S-bahn? Why this route?
I would say because it's like the ultimate commuter traffic route. I mean, if you look at the route map, it's fun. There's multiple ways of driving it. It doesn't get boring really quick because there's so many options. It's really fun to use in free roam, and just driving around doing your thing in between the timetable. And we were looking for like this. We were looking for a new fun S-Bahn route, and
Lucas and I were spending a bunch of time discussing potential routes, and we're just like, there hasn't been a dedicated S-Bahn route for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, well, because we're always trying to find something different. We've done regional, we've done intercity, and S-Bahn has kind of been featured as a secondary traffic in a bunch of routes. But we thought, and the minute you say S-Bahn, then this is one of those routes that just is like, yes, this one.
yeah.
Again, because someone was asking why do we not extend this to this end or that end. Lucas talked about this before, but extending the route to help me out here, Lucas.
Wiesbaden? Offenbach. Oh.
Offenbach.
Yeah.
I was about to say Offenburg, but that's a different town. Extending the route to Offenbach would have just been too much additional work on top of what we're all like. This route is already very dense and complex. As we said, we have the most amount of playable services for any German route ever, like over 1,000 playable timetable services, including tons of signals and tons of details. If we would have then extended that, again, this would have been exponentially more work and would have been even harder to make real, to realize. So, to make a long answer short, we had to stop somewhere, and that's why.
Yeah, here to the left, there's like a little connection up onto the high-speed line, and we also passed like the connection towards the airport, continuing down the S-Bahn track basically. And then there's a plane right above you.
It's looking like it was taking off.
Oh, it's landing. Planes actually land at an angle upward.
I mean, I know that. I was just saying, it looked like it was going upwards. From I only have the small Discord preview window. I don't have the full screen. This is my excuse.
That was perfectly timed for the plane.
It's very, very nice. It's scenic.
Yeah, Kelsterbach. This is now the outskirts of Frankfurt. It doesn't belong to Frankfurt, but it's like right on the edge. And every time when the airport is like closed, they either go via the long distance station and then the first stop is Raunheim, or they skip the airport. If you look at the map, just quickly, you can see there's like a path right through the middle that's mainly used for the few freight trains, but sometimes they use it as an avoiding line. And that's all drivable here, so if you want to do that in free roam or do something, knock yourself out. And also, there are multiple S-Bahns during the day, which basically are like additional ones, which just go between Frankfurt and the airport and back, and they're like they stop here, so they end here. There's like a little that water train that we just passed is sitting in the siding for this, basically.
someone asking if we can tell them more about the BR420. We talked about it a little bit in the most recent Stuff to Life article, which you can find here. I just posted a link for it. But I think for more info, you'll have to wait until we get closer to actual release.
Lucas, we're going to go via the airport in the second one, PC service, aren't we?
No, we're stopping. There are 2 airport stations. One is regional trains. That's one we're doing now.
Right.
And then there's long distance. That's the upper one for the ice trains. That's what we're doing in the ice service.
There you go. So we'll show both of them, the Eisenbahner.
Yeah.
So there you go. Speak of the devil.
Yeah, we go back underground.
Another question for the forums. Someone asked why the Fernbahnhof wasn't originally planned to be included. We changed this midway through the project. Just because initially when this route was planned, it was just not in the scope for this project. But the community wanted Fernbahnhof, so we made space.
Room.
Yep.
No, that was very much a case of we heard you loud and clear.
Yeah, it does add a lot to like the ice potentials and like the gameplay variety. So it's a nice addition.
Linnick, where we've got placeholder trains, so like on Dresden where we use the ICE3 instead of the ICT, the problem is that if we were to change the ICE3 to an ICT, then if you don't own the ICT, you would lose those services. If you then want to say, well, the other option is to duplicate the timetable and put that in, I think we're already up to, what, 3 timetables, Lucas, on that route?
Yes.
So you'd have to double all of them, so you'd now have 6 timetables on that route. Switching them all out to optionally give you the ICT as an option, it becomes impractical. Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
IC going overhead.
Yeah, that line that just crossed above us is the one going into like the long distance station. We'll see that later. And welcome to Frankfurt Regional. I remember this because I built the model for the TSC version of this station. So I got this very much in my head. If you want to step out here and like cross between the platforms, you can kind of see how much effort went into this.
No telling me I'm late later on in the stream though, right?
Yeah. Don't worry.
We wouldn't dare.
Funny. So where am I going?
Up, left. And if you go, you can... Oh, this is just a small one. Maybe go to the next one.
The next
so
one?
Go down. walk through here. Completely. Walk down. And if you go up this one. in the main area, I think. I love these little tabs on the, if you look at the temporarily closed. There's a lot of construction going on here in reality. It's I love that.
Were you looking for anything specific?
No, just looking at
Get back to the train then.
people that have been here will know how cramped this area is.
This is freaking me out on the left-hand side. It makes me think it's like warped or something.
A little optical illusion.
I'm sure that's the point, isn't it? To make it more interesting than just a flat surface.
I think a lot of it is actually to deter graffiti. I think, because it's less likely to be sprayed on. If it looks like this.
Interesting.
I think so. I think so. I might be wrong. Like a boring grey concrete wall is much more likely to be tagged than, say, an interesting and textured wall like this. But it's still gonna happen. It's not a 100% guarantee.
Yeah, if you look at the map now, Matt. So yeah, you can basically see that upstairs there's like the main station, and they look quite close, but there's actually a lot of distance to walk between those, because it's up like 6 stories and across, and there's like the whole Frankfurt Airport bus station in between, and there's 2 hotels, and it's quite a walk. And this part that we're currently driving on is now actually gone. They demolished this. They added another station, and the S-Bahn now actually comes out at a different place.
Is this the Gateway Gardens?
Yeah. Yeah, this route is set before Gateway Gardens. Currently being built, basically. There's an airplane that's currently starting. Taking off. Here you can actually see part of the construction site for the line towards Gateway Gardens, so a new entry.
So when exactly is this route set? Is it 2014?
It's 2018.
2018.
Yeah.
So this is set before they opened Gateway Gardens, but since then Gateway Gardens has been demolished.
No,
They
open.
just- Opened. Okay.
The line we went over between those has been demolished.
Ah, okay. I get it. I was wondering, like they built a new station, then they demolish it in like 6 years. That sounds very inefficient.
Yeah. No, it's not that bad.
Another
Yeah,
ICE over there.
This area was a pain because it's in constant change, and it's actually going to change again soon. They're going to like rip out a lot of junctions again and redo them because they have like a big plan on changing this. And when you have to do signaling for this, it's a pain because every picture or every video is like a different year and it's different. It's not very fun. Team was not that happy. Yeah, so this is the stadium station. So the home team of Frankfurt, they play here. If you go up a bit with the camera, you can also see the stadium.
Any football fans in chat?
Eintracht Frankfurt. You will find me in that stadium from time to time. So.
I grew up in a VfB Stuttgart household, and I know literally nothing about football. This completely passed me by. Went to school in Stuttgart during the 2010 Olympics, and not Olympics, football World Championship. I don't remember a single thing about it, except the Sportfreunde Stiller song. That's the only thing that's stuck in my head.
Yeah, now we're coming fully into Frankfurt.
Well, a few more questions about, or from our forums while we wait for Frankfurt. 2 questions regarding sounds on the 423. Someone asked, A, regarding the buttons in the cab for the 423, if they are clicking, because this was apparently a issue that they were not clicking when the doors.
Oh, is this the relay sound on the door buttons, Lucas?
Yeah. No. That should be fixed. Or what are we talking about?
I'm paraphrasing the question. I can just read it out.
Oh no. Yeah, that has been fixed. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the missing clicking sounds for the 423 door buttons is fixed, and it's also fixed on this version of the 423. And another question about the 423 regarding the cab fan noises disappearing at random. Seems to be.
We didn't actually have that on our radar, so I'll have to check what's going on.
If you do have that issue, and if you have ideally some video of it, please create a support ticket so we can look at it.
Yep.
Check me out ahead of schedule despite Lucas's best efforts.
We'll get you yet.
Oh, next stop, Underground.
Yeah, this ride here between now and the station is actually fairly scenic. It's quite fun for people that come from the airport into Frankfurt the first time, because you rise up and you go over this big bridge that overlooks like the whole station of Frankfurt, and you look out the side and it's quite impressive. Yeah, you'll see what I mean in a second. There's to the right here, there's the Frankfurter Becken. Not Frankfurter Becken, Mainzer Becken, which is...
Just turn the audio down so that people can hear what you're saying, Lucas. I'll turn it back up again in a minute, don't worry.
Yeah, so this is pretty empty during the day, and then during the night it's pretty full when all the trains start rolling in and stopping here. And now you approach the skyline and then dive under it.
I know I talked about this in our Frankfurt folder previous stream, but looking at the skyline and seeing the evil-looking skyscraper with the like dark glass pyramid on top, very, very nostalgic for me.
Yeah, here on the left is the depot or the main depot for the Frankfurt S-bahn. Yeah, now instead of going basically up top into the station, we dive under.
Someone has been asking what the performance is like on Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof, and if there have been improvements. There have been a few improvements. We have made a few updates since the release of Kinzig-Tarbahn. But it is a very, very busy route. There's a lot going on. You can also see on the top right of the stream, you can see the FPS counter. So if you want to keep an eye on that, if you want to inform yourself about the performance, that would be the best indicator.
Yeah, Frankfurt has improved. But it's still a very busy area, big station. And here we are. Before you end this service, Matt, you can show that you can walk from downstairs to upstairs, if you want to.
I'll end service and return to free roam and then do it.
Yep.
Just because we arrived here and it's fitting, someone asked if the lighting in the Frankfurt main station's S-Bahn station will be amended. From screenshots first look video, it seems a bit too dark after having seen it in a cab ride, or is that right? It looks what you're currently seeing is intended.
It's what's shipping, and it's what we kind of intended, because the main station might seem a bit brighter in reality, but lighting is not that easy, and this is kind of what we wanted it to look, and this is kind of how it looks when they ripped out the roof panels because of
Where am I going, Lucas?
fire safety reasons. Down here, further down. That was the wrong exit. You can go up here. The left. Oh, right. No. Behind you, basically. Yeah, up there. And there we are. We know this. We love a good bit of Frankfurt. So many trains.
It does look very busy with all the trains on the platforms. There's a nice mix of like long distance, high speed trains and regional trains. I do like that. And the roof, like the Frankfurt station just looks stunning visually.
It's quite dramatic actually, as you come up from the sort of the dingy underground up into this big bright space. It does seem really, really bright.
Yeah, and for people asking, one of the optimizations we had to make basically is we had to reduce the passenger count here at the station, because it was one of the main reasons for bad performance.
So I'm going to go back to the main menu now, because now, through the magic of please work,
Fingers crossed.
eventually, when it wakes up. I bet it's gone to sleep. Oh no, it's waking up. Oh no, it did actually go to sleep. There you go. It got bored waiting for us. You have to wait a minute while it boots up then.
We are going to take a look at the reduced timetable for consoles on an Xbox.
Okay, so let's go. Main menu. Oh, he looks familiar. I believe it is S1 we're going to be doing, actually, JJJ. Remind me what the number is. I'm already found it. 1640, was it?
1640, yeah. Service number 35150.
I would have loved to have shown PS5 Subby, but this is actually a pre-release build, and I can't do that on a PS5. So this is a retail Xbox I'm using. I'm not using a demo, one of our dev kits, which would be not necessarily a fair comparison because they've got more memory on them and so forth. This is the same machine that you've got, and on Xbox I can do pre-release builds and actually look at them on there, whereas I can't do that on PS5. So that's why I thought we would do it this way around. We can do a night service as well, yeah, heavy weapons guy. Right, so let's go here. Frankfurt, timetable, BR 430 again, isn't it? And then it's
35150.
I'll just search for S1. There you go. It's 1640, wasn't it? 30. There you go. The one I finished, coincidentally.
What?
I wasn't practicing.
Spoilers.
Oh yeah, remind me when we finish to show the full timetable. We didn't show that.
Yeah.
It's basically the 423, the 430, the ICT 41. Was that it? Or was there anything else? I want to say there was another one. Oh, the Dostos, the 143 and the Dostos.
Yes.
Okay. I don't have a keyboard plugged in, so I can't easily get you an FPS counter, but I'll let you figure it out. Right, I need to unlock the doors. And I need to get some PZB magic going.
PZB is not magic.
It is when I'm doing it.
It's logic.
So we're in Frankfurt at the moment.
So just for context for anyone that just joined us, we're currently playing the S1 service at 440. On Xbox, this is the reduced timetable. Before this, we were playing the S8 717 on the full PC timetable. But should your PC be a bit older or struggling with the full timetable, you also have the option to use the reduced timetable on PC to get a better performance for older PCs. And after this, we're going to make do a run on PC again with the ICT as a night run.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a keyboard. Yeah, I've got my keyboard, but I can't find the USB dongle for it. That's not well planned.
This will have to do. I would give you mine, but there's a few thousand miles on the way. I don't have a cable that long.
So one thing I will flag is that the Xbox build is not as current that I'm running here. It takes longer to get builds up. So what you're seeing on the Steam build that I just was running on PC was literally built about 4 hours before the stream. Whereas this was probably built 3 days ago. So this will get an update before release. So there's a couple of light bake issues that you just saw there. We were trying to see if we could get an updated build in for the stream, but it takes quite a while, both to build it and to get it uploaded and available. Because, like I said, I'm using a retail box. I'm not using a developer kit.
Yeah. Now instead of going left here, basically after Frankfurt, we go to the right side towards Höchst. So this is the other side of the route. I'm seeing lots of questions about the sound of the 423. So we currently only have the sound recording for GTO. We are in talks with people of recording the other one, but that takes time, processing takes time, so we don't know yet if that can happen, when that can happen. I want to do it, but as always, if it happens, it'll probably appear in a note somewhere. On the roadmap, maybe. We shall see.
So one thing I've seen raised a few times is why does the Xbox and PS5 not get the full timetable but with layers that you can just turn off? And that was one of the things we tried. What happens is that turning off a layer doesn't delete all of the data related to that layer, and the game still loads all that data into memory. And because of the quantity of data, I can't remember, Lucas, if you can find out for me how big the timetable file is. It's big. The full timetable file is very big.
Yeah, it's like 1.6 gigabytes or something like that.
So that's 1.6 gigabytes in memory. You know, it's basically what it works out to, which is horrendous. Whereas by actually deleting the layers, we free up the memory. You know, if you just turn off a layer, what happens is you don't load the train. But you do get but you still have the data in memory. By deleting it from the timetable, it loses that bit of the memory as well, essentially. So that's why we've spent a lot of time trying to do all sorts of combinations to try and find the best place to get this. And this is where we've got to. And we're still looking at the memory optimization. What I don't want to do is leave anyone with any kind of feeling that, oh, it's all right, we'll definitely, get there. I don't know if we will, in all honesty. So all I'll say is that we're carrying on. We've got some promising leads, but we may not get there. So I would say, if you're going to make a decision to buy it based on what you can see. And if we're able to do an update in the future, then that's great, but I can't guarantee it'll happen.
Yeah, because the chat just mentioned it. Behind you, there's another road bridge that had to be torn down because it was basically collapsing. And this, on the right side, Griesheim, is currently in a pickle because the only road connection into it is now over the next level crossing. And so it's like a huge build-up every time, every day. Yeah, Germany and bridges is a thing at the moment.
I swear to you, the stereotype is still true. Germans are very efficient. Do not believe anything you just heard from Lukas. This is not true.
It's efficient at making bridges that are problematic, by the sound of it.
Still efficient. We still get everything done, even with crumbling infrastructure.
Yeah, but the people in Frankfurt are not that fast because nobody wants to get to Griesheim or and nobody wants people from there to get away. So,
ouch! Here we go. Didn't we have this problem in a previous stream where we upset a part of Germany?
Yeah, it was. It's always Lukas against the rest of Germany.
Well, only my part of the city is good. So it is.
This is what I work with, ladies and gentlemen.
At least you have something to work with.
What's it supposed to mean?
I don't know.
I decided I would leave that one alone. Either Lucas didn't know what he meant, or I didn't want to know.
Anyway, moving on. Someone asked if there are station cats in this. From reading the chat, I think this was more of a humorous question, but we do have station cats in Transit World that you can, and also station dogs now at this point. But are there any station cats?
I don't think so. That's
Missed opportunity.
British root thing.
Do you not have cats in Germany?
No.
No.
Okay. Explains it.
It's a joke.
Again, too far, Lucas. We were right there, and then you took one more step and took it too far.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Apparently, no station cats. Sadly, I will complain about this at the next company meeting. I promise you.
Yeah, people keep telling me that when they throw sticks at me, that I throw back with atomic bombs. I'm sorry, everybody. It's like...
Who hurt you, Lucas? Are you okay? Maybe not get into that as well, or
No. I'm just gonna make them sad again.
Okay.
Oh wait, okay. I totally forgot facts and trivia. Yeah, we're coming into Höchst now, which is another big station on the route. So if you go on the map,
Hang on.
you'll see this. No, Matt doesn't want to go on it.
I was busy.
Okay. Yeah, it's another big station, so there's quite a lot going on here. And on the left side, I will come back. I'll talk about that when we come there. But yeah, Höchst once was its own town, but it got incorporated into Frankfurt at some point. So now they're stuck with us. But it's actually quite nice.
I can't remember what the question was. I think it was only me. They asked if the lower 5 timetable is only for Gen 8. This route doesn't work on Gen 8 at all. It's only available on Gen 9. And Gen 9 get the reduced timetable, so that includes PS5. As has been discussed, only PC is getting the full timetable because we haven't been able to make it work reliably on any of the consoles without it crashing, blurring the textures really badly, all of the usual things, and to a much greater extent. Just because I'll show the map in a minute about what Frankfurt looks like, and with all of those tracks, signals, OHLE, and other things, it's a bit hungry on the memory. This one. Definitely not where we want it to be. We wanted it to be, we'd like to make sure that Gen 9 always gets the same experience, but in this instance that wasn't possible. Let me just show you Frankfurt. So this is Frankfurt. And unlike the previous route, which sort of ended Frankfurt's experience here because you came down this one then carries on, and so all of this is modelled. So when you're standing in Frankfurt looking west, you've got all of this joy in front of you, and it's troubling. Oh, you didn't notice? Well, apologies, only me. Whoever it was that asked the question, I do apologise. Hopefully that's answered it. It's kind of flying up the screen a little bit, and well, I'm trying to be good and pay attention to what I'm doing, except when Lucas says otherwise.
I'm not saying anything anymore.
Can you open a window? Yes, you can open a window.
Someone's asking in German if you can drive long distance trains on this route? Yes, you can. We will, in the next service we drive, we'll drive the ICET. Ja, man kann Fernzüge fahren. If I speak too much English for a long time, I have trouble speaking German. There's like a switch that I need to turn over.
Odin
There's
Moore,
like an input lag.
it was Odin Moore that asked the question. What percentage is it? So the full timetable is 1,010 playable services plus AI trains. The cut down service is about 600 services with, I think, no AI trains. And by AI trains, I mean non-playable services. So obviously, the 600 playable services are all there as AI trains as well. But the full timetable has got loads and loads of other services which are non-playable because they just do little bits of the route. So, I mean, in my playtest of it, it obviously has a big impact on Frankfurt and I think Wiesbaden, Mainz. The rest of the route, actually less so. In this service, you're going to see we pass tons of trains. So there's the 430 covers an awful lot of services.
Yeah. Here on the left is Frankfurt HBF. It's like a huge chemical plant, like with lots of little firms in it. Like Color Works, I guess it's English, so it's not one big complex, but it's like a huge area with lots of little companies, from everything from they produce pharma stuff like insulin to paints to.
It's a big chemical production area, essentially.
And they also get served quite a lot with the train. And in a second we'll see the bridge that basically leads into there. And they now, in this area, they now actually have H2 trains. And they get they get refilled here because parts of the industry in there, basically the waste is what's Wasserstoff?
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen, yeah. As a waste product, so they get this here. But they actually have stopped it now, I think, because there were too many problems with those hydrogen trains. So there's that.
Isn't hydrogen highly flammable?
Yeah.
It's very difficult to contain hydrogen because it's so small.
Lukas und ich können seit Geburt an Deutsch.
Naja, fast, ne?
Ja. Also ich
Talking
schon.
about me, aren't they?
Yes. Someone is surprised that the two German employees are able to speak German. Which is not fair. You don't know we're German, but the names are kind of a big giveaway. Here you see one of the collectibles, actually. So
Yeah, you do, isn't it?
yeah. The route maps are another collectible. Those are the two, say, standard collectibles. You can also find posters, concert posters, as well as umbrellas, lost umbrellas they can pick up. Any reasoning? But the concert posters I can see they fit in with the mastery, with the Schlachthof concert hall. Any reasoning behind the umbrellas? Are umbrellas very Frankfurt? Frankfurt a very rainy city.
No, there was a reason behind it, but I cannot remember it. I need to go back in my chat. So. Somebody had a clever idea.
Okay, so there is a reason behind the collectibles being yes, and we'll make sure to find out for you.
Yeah, now comes. Oh no, it's first. Never mind.
I think the reason was a bit more complicated than it was raining the day we decided on the collectibles. But good shout.
No, reduced timetable is for all consoles, Robin. The full PC timetable, combined with the sheer size of the route, is just too big for the consoles. We are working on see what we can do, but I don't want to make any promises as to whether we'll get the full timetable on the consoles. So we have a reduced timetable. It drops the playable services from 1,010 down to 600, so still a lot of playable services. The PC timetable also has non-playable AI trains, which are not there in the reduced timetable. The goal was to make it the frame rate good, to make it robust so that you know it won't crash, and also to avoid blurring textures and problems like that, so that what you've got is a good experience. That's where we've ended up. It's running really, really well. Like I said, I'm running this on a normal retail Xbox Series X, same one as you've probably got, and it will run equivalently on a PS5.
And just to make it a bit clearer, because we've been saying consoles and Xbox or PlayStation before, the reduced timetable will be available on Xbox Series X and S, as well as PlayStation 5. The route will not be available at all on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. So Generation 8 consoles, meaning PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, it's not going to be available, and Generation 9 consoles like the Xbox S, Xbox Series S, and the PlayStation 5 will get a reduced timetable. The PC will get a full timetable and the reduced timetable in case you want to use the reduced timetable if your PC is a bit older and can't handle the full timetable.
Yeah, now we come to Eddersheim. This is the second little section on the route where we still have semaphore signals. The guy basically, this has its own signal box, but the guy only does the 2 signals for the platforms and for the level crossing. So it's a fairly relaxed place to work compared to other signal boxes in the area.
Someone is asking if the PS5 Pro version has any advantages. I think Matt talked about this a bit.
No, we don't. We don't actually have internal in-game support for PS5 Pro. It offers about another 1.5 gigabytes of memory, but in order to take advantage of that, we would have to effectively upgrade the core SDK that we used to talk to the console, rebuild the entire game and all DLC, retest the whole lot. Just to enable that bit of memory. And actually the number of people that have got a PS5 Pro for the play our game is very small. So I would rather the team spend time fixing and improving the situation for the wider group of users, which is PS5 and Xbox Series X players, and Series S as well, in fact. So it's definitely, that's the area to go. We did look at and see what the percentage of PS5 versus PS5 Pro, and it's very small. So not the best use of time and pain for everybody to be dealing with for that side of things.
Here we are. Nice little semaphore.
This is the large one we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
So the 2 meter one or 6 foot?
Yeah. Did you convert that into foot?
Oh yeah, I play a lot of D&D, which is in feet.
Okay.
1 meter is about 3 feet, roughly. So 1 foot is about 33 centimeters, ish.
Mario Osorio, this route's not available on PS4 or Xbox One.
Yeah, if you take a look at the map now, you can kind of see that we're now coming down. So we're now coming beyond. So the high-speed line that comes off the long-distance airport station goes across us up towards Cologne. You will see an ice now and then going across here on the full PC timetable. I might see an iced tea here. Oh no, they don't. They're not allowed to run. Never mind.
True roller coaster of emotions here.
Yeah. Yeah, with the different amount of timetables, it gets confusing at some point.
Staying on the topic of timetables, we have another question from the forums. This is a bit lengthy question. Please stay with me. There have been trains and bulk routes with over 1,000 playable services in the past that could run well on Gen 9 consoles. What are the unique factors about this route or the state of the core game that makes this not possible for Frankfurt S-bahn?
It's a lot of things, really, isn't it? It's not just down to the number of playable services. It's down to the variety of trains, the types of trains. ICE trains are very expensive on memory. It's down to the amount of tracks, the complexity of the tracks, how many junctions there are. Junctions are pretty expensive on memory. OHLE, over the top, there's a lot of that in Frankfurt area. And Frankfurt area is also light baked, and which is kind of like a perfect storm. And then you've got the fact that it's over such a long, quite a large number of area of space as well. So it's kind of like the worst of a lot of different things going on there to make that difficult. It's not just down to the number of services though. There's a lot more to it than that. I'm going to write something up for the system about how memory changes for different things and what makes a difference, what doesn't make a difference. I mean, ultimately it all makes a difference, but in different ways, in different reasons. So I don't know if Lukas, you want to add on that?
Well, not really. You kind of said it all. It's just that, the main reason is variety of stock and unique vehicles. So if you have like a London to Brighton with 1,400 services, but you only really have 2 types of trains with 4 vehicles in each train, like for an EMU, or like even just 3. So if you imagine you have a scene in Frankfurt main station and Victoria. In Frankfurt main stations, with the trains we have here, there are 20 unique vehicles, I think. And on Brighton it's just 8 or 9. Plus there's a lot more junctions. And,
I was going to say you can't really compare Frankfurt and Victoria.
Yeah.
Victoria is complicated, but Frankfurt is complicated plus.
Yeah, it's everything, but most of the RAM actually goes towards a timetable in the trains, and the more unique trains you have, the more RAM that takes, and it scales exponentially by the amount of junctions, because the way we save timetables kinda has to do with the track complexity. It's a difficult system, but Frankfurt is very bad for that.
It's one of the things that is being looked at, though. Actually, is one of the engineers is reworking how track is dealt with internally, with a view to hopefully saving some memory in that area as well. So, there are a bunch of things going on to try and optimize this, and certainly, like I said, there seem to be some potentially positive things coming out of the early investigations. But I don't want to make any promises. I want to make that really clear. That we are looking into this very seriously, because there are also problems generally on other routes where you're getting blurriness or you're getting crashes to desktop, things like that. So it's not just this route, it's other routes that need to be. What we didn't want to do is add another route to the catalogue that crashed to desktop. So this route is reliable. You can have a lot of fun with it and know it's going to stay looking good and play well. If we can make good progress with the optimizations, then great. There, it'll be a good thing. But yeah, I don't want to make any promises on that.
Yeah, it's just lots going on here. We underestimated the complexity that this was posed to our current systems, because we didn't really do it before. We kind of knew a bit from Munich, but this is Munich plus plus.
And we learned a lot from Munich, as I said earlier on, and this is like one of the biggest pain points on the Munich route was all the signals, and they are radically different in how they work now compared to then in terms of how much memory they take up. It's a lot more efficient now than it was back then. But then the track complexity scales up a lot more for this route as well. So it all adds up. It all adds up, and train variety is one of those things that really bulks it up.
Someone in chat asked,
I knew my controller battery would pick this moment to die. I knew it.
Carrying us through, I have a question while Matt's looking for new batteries.
I know, I got them ready in advance because I knew this would happen.
This is a prepared man. Someone asked, will there be a few long-distance services via the airport regional station, like in real life? I think we talked about this briefly before. Again, the question was, will there be a few long-distance services via the airport?
Sorry, I just got confused.
Regional station, like in real life.
Yeah, so you got, I think like 2 or 3. That's not that much. Especially back then. They have more now, I think, but I would need to actually check the timetable, how much we implemented. We got a pretty exact replica of the 2018 timetable. I think there are only 2 trains which go to the regional station. But they are at night you regularly had S-Bahn trains that go to the long distance stations. So that is in there. Yeah, sorry.
Cat should score. This is indeed S1. Yes, I'm going westbound.
Typical German countryside. Yeah, now we come into Mainz Castell. So this is also where the S9, that basically does the other side, but then crosses over before Mainz, joins us again. So S1 basically does the north route, S8 does the south route, and then S9 does a bit of crisscross. It comes over here at this point. Joins back in. And then there's like, if you look at the map, there's like this little diversion route that goes around. Yeah, up top basically, around the station. So that is in and usable. So if you want to have some fun with a custom scenario or a free roam, you can do that. Wiesbaden Mainz Castell. So, about the length of trains, so units, it's actually quite so. Both services we've done now have been doing rush hour, and usually they do aim to have 3 units per train during rush hour. So that's. We have a bit of like switching of units in the timetable.
Or later our services with less cars.
Yes. It depends a bit on the line. I think the airport line, the S8, basically always has 3 units. They did get a new order. They did order a few extra trains, not this year. Or got a few extra trains this year in Frankfurt to provide more carriages. That's also a big part of a little bit of confusion, because the 430 now has 2 different door sounds. The newer type, which looks the same, or more or less the same. The door sounds different, much more obnoxious than the old one. It's not nice. No
It's a
idea.
hustle alarm. It's not intended to be music.
Yeah. I think that it's a case of where they had to like meet certain new European regulations, and had to be a certain sound level, so it's much louder.
There's a while ago, this is a long time ago, a few years ago, here in Vienna there were a few billboards around the museums area here in Vienna. There were like museum advertisements with like funny little jokes on them, and one of them was, for context, you should know that the subway trains here in Vienna say like there's a bitte nicht mehr einsteigen thing, or used to be. So the essentially this warning, the hustle warning that Matt was talking about, the beeping, that tells you to not enter the train anymore, to not delay the train. And to make a long story short, I'm rambling, I'm sorry. The message was, the only time people from Vienna run is when they hear the beeping door of the train. It's the only time. And I can confirm that, like after 6 years of living here, it's like that. And in a city where every 3 minutes there's a train, people are like, no, I have to be on this one. I have to jump in between closing doors, and block like 400 people from departing, because I have to be on this train. Anyway, I'm rambling. You need to stop me when I'm rambling, please. You're muted.
We enjoy your stories.
I'm muted. I'm trying to talk and I'm muted. No, I actually learned that in Frankfurt, when the drivers, so you can become an S-Bahn driver, but to actually drive on the underground section, because it's so full and there are so many people like on the platforms coming in, you actually have to take like a special 1 or 2 day course before you're allowed to drive there, because it's quite scary driving in and out. So many people pushing onto the track. So that is.
Yeah. I had some questionable situations in Vienna, especially around, if you've ever been to Vienna and ridden die Stammstrecke in Vienna between Vienna, Meidling and Floridsdorf. There's a station called Wien Praterstern, which is a large station with 4 platforms, like double-sided platforms, quite a lot. But it's also always very busy. And again, please remember that in Vienna, every 3 minutes there's a train. There's a very high takt of new trains coming through every 3 minutes. And Wien Praterstern is absolutely horrible. People are just if they see the train doors closing, I've seen mothers with strollers like push their stroller in between the closing doors to block them. And I'm like, I'm not talking about the big buggies, the beefy ones. I'm talking about the little ones where like toddlers are sitting in, like the ones you can fold. I was like, not the decision I would have made, but you know, I guess that's your decision.
Yeah, people are. They do dangerous things, especially around the railway.
I walked away as a conductor. I walked away from a train at Wien Handelsquai, which is not a very busy station. I walked away from the train because I was like, I'm not gonna let this train depart. This is too full. People are actively standing like in between the platform and the train, trying to push in. It's like scenes from Tokyo. I'm like, I can see the next train down the track. It's waiting behind us.
It's like that sometimes on the tube though during rush hour. It's just like the tube it's right there, 2 inches from the back of this one. If you'll look, just let this one go. Yeah,
people won't. It's like I was talking to people directly. I was like, I can't let this train depart. It's too dangerous. I can't even get to the phone to get in contact with the driver in case of emergency or for anything else. But people are still like, I told them, you either get out and wait for the next one, or this train just stops indefinitely, and they still wouldn't get out. So,
right, I've had a request for some pull-away sounds, so let's all be quiet while we do some pull-away sounds. There you go. Sorry, we can talk again now.
She don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yay!
Wow, what?
This is part of my job. I need to yap, I need to talk. This is part of my job description. You have to actively tell me to be quiet. Otherwise, I'll just keep talking.
No, I just realized that we just arrived back at Wiesbaden Ost, basically one round, and there was like, I don't know, there was like 1 hour 40 of driving, and what I like about this is that you don't have to do it at like one stretch. It's like always like a 40-minute section everywhere, but it's always a little bit different because you crisscross around, and I think that's what makes this route nice, because you can experience different things. And in the end, you still have a long route. That's why I like these types of routes. And we'll get to experience even more when we do the ice train in a second. And now we're pulling back into Wiesbaden.
Another question from the forums. Why is the BR-143 used for regional services instead of the BR-114 we got with Frankfurt Fulda? Isn't the 114 the one that is usually located around Frankfurt?
Yeah, well, actually both. So they're both located in Frankfurt, and towards this direction, they used the 143 for quite a while. The 114 went towards Fulda, so that's why that was on that route, and that's why the 143 is on this route. simple explanation. ICE. I keep calling it ICE.
I keep telling Lukas off. I just want to make it clear. I keep telling Lukas off every time. He's internally, we know when we're on a call and he's like, "Oh, it's going to be an ICE train." I'm like, "It's going to be a what?"
Yeah, that's...
Because I have taken so much stick from German players for like, what's ICE? This isn't ICE. This is an ICE.
I'm just gonna call it the German name. I'm just gonna call it ICE.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's easier.
I'm cool with that. Give it a German name with the German abbreviation for the English name of the train. The Intercity Express. Oh well, Express.
Right. We did have a request to go and have a look at Frankfurt at rush hour before we move back to PC.
Yes.
Plus, we need to have a look at the timetable. Let's do that first.
Yes.
Let's look at the timetable, and then we'll do a spawn on foot. To be honest, I think Volk Ultimate, at least 50% of the time I was getting told off on streams, it was probably you, to be fair.
Someone's got to keep a watch on you.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Voller Kaltmilch is also interesting.
Our mods are doing God's work. Thank you, moderators. We highly appreciate your work.
Right, okay, back to the list of trains. So you got the 430, the Dosto cab car, you got the 143, the ICT, and the 423. So you got 436 services 430, 30 on the Dosto, 30 on 31 on the 143, 21 with the ICET, the 411, and 117 with the 423. So let's pick the ICET to have a look down the service list for. Decent length services, big range of different journeys. Sorry, carry on.
Sorry, no. You keep.
Just gonna turn the music down a bit so we can hear each other, hear ourselves. I'll turn it back up again before we go in. And then, so 4:30 is obviously where the bulk of the services are, and this is the full 4:30 timetable, I think, for Lukas. There's nothing cut off of the 4:30 timetable. It's everything. So lots and lots of services on the 4:30. Dosto cab car. Obviously, I've got everything installed here to do the right one. There you go. So you've got 20-25 minute services with the cab car, Wiesbaden Hbf, and then there'll be the same service the other way around with the 143, and then the 423. Is just this little bit up the top here. So that's the timetable for Xbox. Let's just do a spawn on for Frankfurt. What do you think? 8 o'clock?
Wow, no, let's do 7:20 is actually a bit more rush hour-y, I think.
7:20. All right. Let me, sort the weather out so it doesn't get in our way.
Just quickly jumping in because someone's talking about like Pizza B tutorials in a chat. I could recommend looking on YouTube. Our ambassadors have some great tutorials for like German safety systems or generally for safety systems. So if you look on YouTube for safety system tutorials, you can find those by Train Simulator Driver. I think Needle TV has done some. There's plenty of content.
Oh, we're unlucky. They're all downstairs. Crap.
I mean, Frankfurt is where the loss of the bits in the timetable are missing. You really feel them because this is where the variety is. The rest of the route, much less so actually. So Frankfurt is where you will see the lack of the services. But it's also running at a respectable frame rate. So it's we wander down the end here.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff in Frankfurt is AI, which is cut a lot on this reduced timetable. So, but when you drive the S-Bahn trains from downstairs, you don't actually feel it very much.
I like this signal box. It's got a big clock on the front.
So the experience of the actual route isn't that different.
So yeah, it's quiet. There's no way of getting around that. It's just the S-Bahn trains, but and most of them are downstairs.
Yep.
So, but it doesn't crash. It works. It's reliable and actually a lot of fun. No blurry textures, Josh. No, we've not seen it. One of the key criteria actually. Beta testers, full shout out as always to the beta testers, have spent a lot of time running the route for a lot of hours. Eddie, I'm going to shout him out as I always do. I think spent 9 hours on PC and Xbox running things side by side and found no memory issues and no blurry textures. So it should maintain the level of experience as you're going through, which was the main goal. It's just like, rather than putting something else out, squeezing too much in and have it being an unsatisfying experience because you can't trust it to keep going. It's kind of like, first and foremost, it has to be reliable. So it's hopefully hopefully you'll enjoy that. I certainly have been when I've been testing it myself. But there you go. That's it on Xbox. I think we're going to do a thing on PC again now, aren't we? We're going to finish up with a bit of a nighttime run.
Correct. We're moving on to the ICET at 8:40 p.m.
By the power of magic. Yes.
The stream is not sponsored by Elgato.
No, it is not. Right.
Unfortunately.
I just happened to use a bunch of Elgato kit, coincidentally. Right, okay, cool. Let me put the controller and its battery woes aboard to one side. We are back on the PC, on the full timetable. Right, Frankfurt S-Bahn timetable. Right, point me at the next service.
ICT, and then you scroll all the way down to, and we'll do the 8:40, 2040.
2040, Dresden and Wiesbaden. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that and we'll go. Yeah, Joshua, it's like, well, Frankfurt is quiet, but the cut down timetable and actual drive, and I've done 3 or 4 now. There's still plenty of trains on the other route are coming in the other way and so forth, and different types. One of the journeys I was running earlier on had I saw the ICT going past as well, so that was quite cool.
Can I just highlight a question in the chat? Since we got a new pope, do you think it's possible we'll get the BR204 on more tracks? I'll ask him next time I see him. But no promises. He's a very busy man.
If he does play our game, please tell him to reach out.
You don't know. He could. The Pope could be a gamer. You don't know.
Right. Have I got lights on? I do. Have I got lights on in the carriages? I do. We are rocking it today. I'll need to turn the game sound back up again. Right.
Türen geöffnet.
Someone asking about the scenarios. Lukas, do you know it by heart? Otherwise, I would have to look up on the.
Well, there's a range. We got some. So because of the nature of the route, because of the network effect, we have some scenarios where we have like diversions, which are quite fun.
Schließvorgang eingeleitet.
And we do the one is basically shuffling around a broken train. The other one, then we have some rush hour services, which are there's just a lot going on, and then you got a one where you kind of make use of the network effect, where you get diverted quite a bit. And then we have like a special service as a scenario, and then the fifth one was the basically train preparation and train wash, and then bring it into service.
Zugbeeinflussung.
So a total of 5 services.
5 scenarios, yeah.
Yeah, services. Sorry. I'm currently looking at the whiteboard with all the info, but it's a very big whiteboard with a lot of information. Once I have the info on the scenarios, I'll try to shed a bit more light onto it.
Yeah, if you look back at the skyline now, I love this view. Frankfurt.
We get it. You like Frankfurt.
Yeah. There'll not be a Frankfurt route for at least 3 years now. Don't worry.
I've banned them.
Is that a promise? Can I nail you down on that? Can I quote you on that?
Yeah, I guess you can.
Got an IC1 coming in over there. Three over there.
It's simple. You come into Frankfurt, you walk out the station, and then you're addicted. Some people get that joke, some don't.
I think I get it.
We shall not expand on that one.
This is a family-friendly stream. Yeah, no, this is actually quite interesting, because despite Kassel-Würzburg being like 180 kilometers, you get 3 stops with the ice on this route. You actually have services like these, which have 4 stops. So you get a much shorter route, but much more stops. This is like I did this service once just out of fun, because I wanted to feel like I'm driving an S-Bahn in an ice, and this is basically what this is. Because I have no idea who actually... Nobody will use this. Like most people... Because this service does actually head into Frankfurt and then turn around. It's often quicker to get off and like take some other train to your destination instead of staying in here and slowly traveling to Wiesbaden. So it's definitely interesting. I get why they do it, because they want to go to the airport, and then it's easy to turn around in Wiesbaden, because at the airport there's no time or like no space to let people trains stay there. But it's interesting. I found the scenario brief, and as I said, some of them are to pick up failed or broken down trains. But one that I find very interesting, and stop me if this is out of date. But this is about an important rock star that is late for a concert.
Yes, that's a special train.
Where you start service from Frankfurt, drive straight to the airport before changing ends and heading back to the stadium stop. After unloading your passenger, drive back to Frankfurt and shut down the train. So you're basically playing taxi for, I don't know, Lenny Kravitz.
That's a big rock star, I guess.
Yes, I think so.
I don't want to upset people again. I'm just not going to say anything.
Careful with the shade, Lucas.
You don't want to anger Lenny Kravitz. He has some powerful friends.
Whether or
I
not
don't know,
I forgot this train had AFB, if I'm honest, Nick. I've been driving so many other trains that don't have AFB. I'll turn it on next time we stop.
Trying to think of other famous rock stars, and I can't for the life of me think of a single name other than Lenny Kravitz. He's the biggest rock star ever, according to me, apparently. Going through more form questions, I'm gonna try to run through a few of them rather quickly, if that's okay. Someone asked, will there be a pre-release discount? Can answer this with a no, unfortunately not. Can other locomotives be used as substitutes for the VR143? Also, no. This is, for performance reasons, substitutions have been turned off. Will S2 services be available to Will S2 services be available to and from Frankfurt Fahrwerke and S7 services to and from Stadion as part of the timetable, either reduced or full? It says yes. Is that the answer for both full and
Yes,
reduced?
both.
So yes. Both full and reduced timetables will receive services, S2 services to Frankfurt Fahrwerke and Stadion.
SIFA.
Thanks, Kasingas, for reminding me how to do it while on the move.
Another question was, will the DBBR 430 have services on existing routes? Unfortunately not.
SIFA.
Will Frankfurt Fulda receive an updated timetable to match and coincide that of the new Frankfurt S-bahn?
Nothing planned, no.
So.
Like I said, maybe once we have found out how we do a lot of optimizations on this route, we may go back and apply some optimizations to Frankfurt Fulda, because we know it still has problems. But nothing until anything is confirmed or planned.
So yeah, if we ever do decide to do it, you'll hear it from us directly. Another bit longer question. With the track to Hanau having already been fully laid in Kinzigtalbahn, how come you chose to do part of S1 instead of the underground section for the S8 and S9?
I mean, basically what we said earlier, underground stations are a lot of work. I think we can do like 3 or 4 overground stations for one underground station. So you would have basically only got Frankfurt to Wiesbaden Ost and nothing else, which is not a fun experience.
I think also a lot of underground services might not be as interesting compared to...
that route actually might be fairly interesting. It's quite varied, but
I was just thinking if it was a purely underground, like tunnel route. But if there are a lot of networking going on, a lot of switches, okay.
And yeah, sorry. Here, so we're at stadium now, and before we went off to the right, and now we go to the left, which is the route toward the long distance station.
SIFA.
So we get some new stuff again now. And basically, this if you would go straight ahead here, that would be the route to Mannheim. But we branch off here again towards the airport.
We've answered all the questions from the forum Q&A thread that we can answer. But if you do have more questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat. And we'll get to them if we time and can. And if we have an answer for you. Any question of when is X, Y, Z coming can't be answered, as always.
Do you have LZB on, Matt?
I thought I turned everything on.
Okay, we'll find out in a second. I was just asking. You'll get picked up into LZB then.
So there's a cable underneath us.
Ah yeah, here we go.
There it is.
Yeah, it's on. LZB, relaxing. I like it when there are like small sections of LZB because you get like the pick up and throwing you out again. If the route's fully LZB, it's a bit boring.
SIFA. SIFA.
There's, as far as I'm aware, no GNT releases between Stadium and Frankfurt, so that shouldn't have happened. And here we are.
SIFA. SIFA.
What do you call this? The spaceship or something?
Yeah, it's because it looks a bit like an alien ship because it's like very big, lying down flat building. It's very long. It's like 640 meters long. There are pictures where they built the station first and then they built the building on top. But for a few years it was basically just the station and the roof of the station. It looks quite interesting.
Question in chat, is there going to be a route hopping feature between the regional and Fernbahnhof stations at the airport?
No, you need to use the quick jump, basically. Quick travel.
Yeah, route hopping is for going between routes, but if you press Shift F, is it on PC? Then you can just teleport to any station in the route.
Yeah, in reality there are some quite some prominent logos on this station. Sadly, we due to licensing we can't add them, so it looks slightly empty. You're not allowed to get up here. But shouldn't be.
Watch me.
Oh crap! We missed the collision wall.
Local train driver gets in trouble for no clipping into the roof. Or a date.
Yeah,
No,
the
there's
planes,
like
the planes are all Airbus. Yes, great Western photography. Can you remember which ones, Lucas?
Yeah, we got the A350, an A320, and I think we now also got an A300, an old one. But that one only spawns on older routes because they don't really fly that anymore. Ah, there comes the next ice. Hello.
Again, ICE.
Ah, I see. That's the next ICE. Yes. Right.
Chris, yeah, Lucas mentioned earlier on, you can't walk between the two airport stations because it's about a 6 or 7 minute walk and through a big airport. So that would be a disproportionate place to put the effort, to be honest. This is a train game, not a walking game. You can teleport between them, so you could get out of the train here and teleport over to the other one, but you can't walk. There is route hopping set up, isn't there, Liam, between this and Fulda and Linker?
Yes. I'm not Liam, but yes.
Liam asked the question, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay. No. There's route hopping between this and Frankfurt, and there's also route hopping between the two Main stations, so Left Rhine and this. It's also in here. Who would want to walk 7 minutes in the game, lol?
Well,
I don't know.
probably people who play Fallout and Skyrim, probably.
Or
Oh,
Star
yeah.
Citizen, or
You're lucky Harry isn't here because holy shit, she would tell you something right now. Also, there are walking simulators. They're generally good games.
yeah. No, the LZB cable is there. It's just that if you zoom out, sadly, it's smaller than a pixel, and then it's sometimes it's not really visible. The limits of game engines and.
Can we, as we depart the station, can we show it from the outside again, like from the other side?
We can try. The building is huge. It's hard to actually look at it.
Sifa. Sifa.
Yeah, especially at night, YouTube compression is a bit difficult.
Yeah.
Well, one of the challenges there is because we're using Restream and we're going to Twitch, our bitrate is set to support Twitch.
Sifa.
If we were just going to YouTube, we could crank the bitrate right up. But then no one on Twitch could see it.
Yeah, we've
Have
got
we
it.
thought about moving to YouTube completely because there are not that many Twitch viewers?
I leave those discussions to the community team.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but
Sifa.
we did look into how we can improve the stream, because obviously the quality of a stream is never going to be as good as like a pre-recorded, pre-rendered video, because buffering has to happen live. We're like playing the tracks as the train is moving, essentially. And obviously, a lot of people are using preview streams to form their opinion on our products. So we want them to be in the best possible quality to show off what the route actually looks like when you're playing it, because the route will look a lot better when you're actually playing it compared to a live stream where a lot of compression and is going on. We have a very special streaming setup because we have 3 people from 3 different countries currently streaming together.
On 2 different platforms, streaming out to 2 different services. It's a joy.
So Matt has to, or Matt's streaming PC has to handle Discord. So he's streaming the game to me and Lukas directly on Discord. Then he has to stream the game to Restream, which then streams to Twitch and YouTube. And along the way, a lot of quality will get lost, both in audio and video quality. And we are looking into ways to making it better, making a better experience for viewers, but it takes time. We need to try out new things, and yeah, stay tuned.
Coming up on the NP LZB. Did I say the end of PZB? LZB.
No, you said LZB. Huh?
Did I? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Not as incompetent as I think I am then.
Again, another thing I don't want to get into.
Nice.
ASB. 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 Zifa.
If you're
Now
riding
we're
on
back
a
on
real...
the S-Bahn. Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead. You have something actually.
Yeah, no, we just left the high-speed route, basically. We branched off. And now we're back on the S-Bahn line. And we're basically doing what we did earlier, just in the other direction. And now slow boating to Mainz. Now we can drive a bit faster. I mean, the S-Bahn has like 140 max. We can do 60 at least.
I know. I was just trying to get AFB back in after coming out of LZB.
Sorry, Anne, you were saying something.
Yeah, someone was just asking if I'm riding on a real train and the operator faints for whatever reason. When someone screams, does anyone know how to drive a train? Do I raise my hand or not? By the time all of that happened, your train should have stopped. Because thanks to the deadman switch and other factors.
Zifa.
So... No, don't raise your hand. Essentially, ideally there's also more train personnel on your train, depending on where you are, obviously. But if we're talking about like Austrian or German trains,
Lukas can correct me on this one, but Liam's saying, why does AFB need to be reset at the end of LZB? My understanding of it is that, I mean, certainly the way I operate it is I quite often shove AFB up to maximum. To give LZB full freedom to do what it wants to do. If LZB then just came off and AFB took over, suddenly the train would start accelerating, which feels like a bad idea.
Yeah,
so
it's
AFB is
a
disabled
feature.
and you have to switch it off and switch it back on again to stop that from happening.
That's correct. Yeah, it's just a safety feature. Otherwise, it would be too dangerous.
Yes, competency demonstrated.
hello Scotland, nice to have you.
What, all of Scotland?
Apparently.
Nice. I used to live way north of Scotland.
Been to Scotland quite a few times. I have a lot of friends there. It's very lovely.
I used to live in a place called the Shetland Islands, and basically what you do to get there is you go to Scotland and miss.
This is why I think this route is quite nice at night, because there's lots of big track areas, yards with lots of lit up areas, lots of yard lights. Makes for a fun night drive.
Oops. I messed up. Does this got speed magnets on it?
Yes.
Yeah, I just got hit by a speed magnet because I left it too late. For some reason, because this is the problem with AFB. In my head, I'm like, that's LZB, isn't it? It's driving itself right now. So I forgot to stop
you
speed
went
for
from
too late
160
to 130.
Yeah, from 160 to 130. So
Yeah.
that's
It
more
was
than-
going down, but it hadn't gone down far enough.
Yeah. Every time it's more than 12% speed. I think you'll get a magnet that checks you somehow.
Oh, I'm paused in the pause of shame as a train goes past. How embarrassing.
Look at the other train driver, pointing at you and laughing as he drives
Yeah.
by.
They know from the position where you're standing what happened.
Oh yeah, no, totally. And the look of shame they can see. They can see through the window and you got this big bright red on your face. Yeah, just testing the safety systems, mate. Just demonstrating that speed magnets are all working all right. So, test passed. Well done. Good job, Lucas.
Good job to the team.
Oh, of
No,
course, of course.
everybody here had. This was a hard route to make, and I think that everybody did a great job.
Yeah, the whole team really
it looks
stepped
lovely.
up, didn't they?
It drives lovely. Fairly polished. I really like it. Enjoyable. And I do think that people will enjoy it a lot. And similarly to Dresden Riesa, I hope that this becomes like one of the staples.
While we're passing time waiting for Matt to speed up again, to get to route speed again. Some of the key information for this route. Total length is 80 or a bit over 80 kilometers of track in total. 25 stations. It comes with the, as rolling stock, it comes with the DBBR 423, the DBBR 143 and the Dustos, and new to this add-on is the DBBR 430, which we used in the last two services we ran. Total of 5 stations, in one of which you apparently pick up a rock star and bring them to the concert that they're late to.
Scenarios, not stations.
Before that I was saying services.
S words. There's too many S words.
It's a word that starts with S. You get it. You get the gist. You know what I mean. No, five scenarios. Thank you for calling me out on that, Lucas. 5 scenarios and 4 different collectibles. The route map and defibrillators you know from other routes, and exclusive to Frankfurt S-bahn are concert posters and lost umbrellas. Have you found out why there are lost umbrellas, Lucas? Did you figure that out?
No, I forgot to check. I'm so sorry.
I'm sure we'll figure that out.
I might do a forum post once I find out. We'll see.
All right. And the master reward is the Schlachthof, I think is the name of it, which is a big concert hall, like a right outside of Wiesbaden station.
And prepare for lights and music.
Yeah, big light show and loud music as your master reward. Also good to know, this route with the full timetable, I should add, the full timetable on PC gives you over 1,010 playable services, which is the most services on any German route we've ever done. New record. Yeah, this is me info dumping. case you missed it at the start of the stream. Yes, it's Lenny Kravitz. You're picking up Lenny Kravitz in the scenario. This is my headcanon now. This is official. I'll have to call him to make sure it's okay. I'll do that right after I talk to the Pope. You know, both of them are very busy, but I'm sure they can, you know, take
This is
5 minutes to
important
talk.
stuff.
Yeah, they have 5 minutes to talk to their old friend Jan.
Train simulation is important business.
Yeah. I think we can all agree.
Siefer.
I'm currently trying to check if Lenny Kravitz ever played in Frankfurt. Oh, he actually did in 2018. Oh, that's so funny.
There you go. It fits. I knew it. I knew it. This is all making sense, Lucas. You're gonna have to talk to the gameplay team. They're gonna have to officially call it the Lenny Kravitz service. Make it legally distinct. Call him Kenny Levitz. Can we do that?
I'm not sure.
Hello, licensing team. Can we mention Kenny Levitz in this one scenario?
Yeah, also now we're in the second tunnel in Mainz, so this is basically the old tunnel that they modernized. The difference being that it's not a full tunnel, so you'll see in a second where we come out into the open again for a bit. It's weird, there's like a park around this, but you don't really notice that there's like this cutting and the trains. So when I first noticed this, I was like, what the hell, there's a train line here? Quite well hidden.
It's a bit like that gap coming into Strood on Southeastern, where you've got the gap between the tunnels. That's, I think we affectionately call it the bomb hole. Be careful how you say it.
Yeah.
If I remember rightly, it was to do with the fact that it used to be a canalway.
Flug der Einflüsse.
Siefer. Siefer.
Where's the opening? Screwed.
It's about half a sea. There's two tunnels. I can't remember the name of the
I found
place,
it.
but
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yes.
Oh no, the joke came from the TS1 version, Danny. I mean, it had a much more, local to Dovetail name related to the person that was talking about it. So, but no, we can just leave it at the bomb hole.
I thought this was a family-friendly stream.
That's what I said. It is. Unless you mispronounce it, it's fine. Is it Mainz Wiesbaden? Yeah. It was indeed, Danny. Remind me, Lucas, the 411, is it coming in from another route? or is it included? I think
It's from Frankfurt Fulda.
It's
so
coming from Frankfurt Fulda. There you go.
Yeah.
Someone asked that earlier on. Wow! Look how early I am. I need to throw in some more safety system testing. Clearly.
Lucas, we gotta do something.
This is a really weird service in reality. Like, there's lots of time because it's basically nobody actually takes this service. I was on this.
It's borderline
after the
ECS.
airport. Yeah, I was on this after airport. I think there was 6 people in the whole train. I walked through it. Yeah, it's more like an ECS instead of a real service.
Lucas, someone is asking, what is the coolest thing about the 430?
God.
Does it
Coolest
sound?
thing about it, you know, it's. I think it's. That's hard to answer. Every train is cool in a way.
I don't think it's got any specific standout features. It's just like, if you like, I like the look of the 430. I think the front is really interesting. The way the headlights are, from driving perspective, I think it's fun because it's quite responsive.
Yeah.
But then I too did to drive it like I stole it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, someone is suggesting that it might meet another train here for a transfer, which would explain the long waiting time. That
No,
would
the
make sense.
Expert 101 isn't used in the timetable limit. We did look into it in terms of active players on one of the 2 different trains or versions of the 101, and there's still a lot more people that are actively using the standard version of the 101, and it didn't feel right to force them all to upgrade to get the 101. Is a 101 expert timetable ever planned? That'd be a question for TSG, I think. There's certainly no plans for it from Dovetail.
There's certainly nobody from TSG here today to answer this.
Lucas is leading a very weird, like, double life.
Yeah.
Where he comes home to his wife and kids, and then he goes back to his other wife and kids.
What?
That's a whole new rumour that didn't need starting.
My partner's watching this, I think. Yeah. Whoops.
I mean, work wife and work kids.
I don't think you're making it any better, Jan.
I'm not trying to.
No,
It's clearly a power cut on that train.
oh. No, you'll probably get the 101 expert on the BR 420 timed. Fairly sure.
Bets that he's waiting for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the path. Oh, actually, there's other parts allocated in here, by the looks of it. Yeah. It's probably my path that's blocking him.
Choice of working on a railway. I've always said like 90% of the time working on a railway is spent waiting. You're waiting for the next station, you're waiting for your next train, waiting for the call from the dispatch to tell you you're working on the weekend. It's all waiting. Just in different flavors.
Hurry up and wait.
I will use this time to talk about the Xbox sale again. That's currently going on. There's a Xbox simulator sale happening between May 30th, which is today, and May 20th. So for a week, you can get Main Hbf for 60% off, the MBTA commuter for 30% off, which I think is the highest sale for the MBTA commuter on Xbox so far, as well as 50% off on the Santa Fe F7 loco, the Dispolog BR182, and the Railhead treatment train. So yeah, if any of those sound interesting to you and you're on Xbox, now is your chance. And with that, we're off.
Yay! Oh, this train actually has quite a long stop here. It probably is to let that train on the left pass. We're not doing that today. Signaler saw us being shiny IC, was like, we're better.
Clearly superior.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
Horst Demol on Twitch asking about yesterday's update not being on consoles. Make sure that your system didn't update while it was on standby. Some systems update while the system is waiting in standby, so it's not updating while you're using it. Could be that you got the update, you just don't know it because it downloaded and installed the update while you were away. It should be out on all platforms.
Zugbeeinflussung.
RJ72, how is the new Köln-Aachen timetable working on Xbox? How exactly do you mean? Like performance-wise, or how to use it, how to download it?
Sifa.
If you own Köln-Aachen, it should just be available to you for free automatically. And performance-wise, should be fine, from what I know, depending on the system you're on, of course.
Yeah, so this is again the beginning of linke Rheinstrecke here to the left, and we're branching off to the right again.
SIFA.
Correct.
SIFA.
Zug der Einflüsse.
This 1000 hertz is going on for a very long time, Lucas.
I mean, it's 1.3 kilometers, so, and you're driving fairly slow. Should go away soon.
SIFA. SIFA. SIFA.
Yeah, maybe I'm just impatient. Probably. I know I'm just impatient.
Awkward. Did you approach on a 500 hertz?
SIFA.
Yes.
SIFA.
Okay. Huh. Oh wait, you. This is an interesting bug. I bet that if you go above 45, it probably disappears.
Blaming this on Lucas, just being clear.
That's weird.
Well, it doesn't seem upset with me. Okay,
I need
well,
to look at that. Did you press release?
I've been pressing it several times.
Zug der Einflüsse.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, Eddie, I've been trying that. I've been doing acknowledge and release.
SIFA. SIFA.
Lucas will make notes.
Yeah. This is weird. Because I thought I've seen it all now.
No, you just if you think you've seen it all, demo something, then you'll see all the other things. Well, the speed limit's 80, so I'll stay on under 80 then, Joe.
SIFA. SIFA.
Dare you? Double duck dare you?
No, because knowing my luck, we'll end up with a nice sharp turn all of a sudden and an ICET blade all over the world.
Okay, no, we don't need to see that.
Well, yeah, no, speed never stopped you, Joe. I've seen you driving.
Horst, I'll make a note of this and check with the team tomorrow. The update should be available on all platforms. If it's not and you're sure about it, again, there's a good chance that it updated in the background without you noticing. If you're completely sure that you didn't get the update for some reason, please create a support ticket. Also, could you please send Horst them all on Twitch the link to the support ticket creation, and we'll look into this tomorrow.
SIFA.
Yeah, full credit to Joe for the new Konak on Timetable. He's in the chat.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Right, that resets it.
Yeah, somehow got into a weird state.
SIFA. 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 SIFA.
And here we go. Back in Wiesbaden.
How do you get from Frankfurt Main to Frankfurt Tief on foot? Go back to the video earlier on in the stream, and we did it.
SIFA. 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 SIFA.
Why does it show the increase in track speed? It's probably because there's a pixel of space at the end of the track that hasn't had the speed limit set on it.
Yeah.
Pink car.
What's that, like your favorite color or something?
No, I don't like it that much, really.
Geöffnet.
Let's just finish the stream like this. There you go.
Yeah. Good.
Don't see a lot of pink cars for some reason.
You don't. There was one in the car park outside our office a few years back. It was like a satin finish pink Mercedes. I wouldn't drive a Mercedes if you paid me, but the car was absolutely gorgeous, and that satin finish was lovely.
Wait a second.
I hear new discussion.
Last time it was Lukas giving me attitude for Stuttgart. Now it's you. What's this all about? I won't hear this. Now, if you were talking about BMW, I would agree.
Not sure I'd want to drive one of them either, to be honest. But they've got nothing against them. They're just, I don't like paying money for cars. I like paying nothing for cars and running them into the ground. There you go. So there we are. Hopefully,
There we are indeed.
hopefully that was it. We did the 4:30 on a service on an S8 service, I think first.
Yes.
On the PC. Then we did an S1 service on the console with the 430, and we did a walk around on Frankfurt, and we did we had a look over the timetable that's on the reduced timetable. Remember that the reduced timetable is also available on PC. So if you get it on your PC and you find that it's struggling a bit with all the timetables, there is the reduced timetable you can use. And then at the end, we just finished the ICET there, running a slightly unusual service in the evening so that you can see what the night lighting looks like as well. I think we covered everything off, and we answered a ton of questions. Was there anything left that we need to look at? In fact, why don't you take us out then? Yeah.
I'll take us out. Thank you for joining us to this preview stream tonight. It was a lengthy one, but I think we showed quite a lot. We wanted to go into as much detail as we can. It was the first time that we actually looked at different builds, PC and Xbox, but I think in this case it was very important that we showed the differences between the two timetables. Just another quick mention about S-Bahn in general. Frankfurt S-Bahn releases May 20th, so in just 7 days. Make sure to pick it up if anything you saw today is to your liking. It comes with the DBBR 430 as a new rolling stock, as well as the DBBR 423 and 143 plus the Dostos, 80 kilometers of track, 25 stations, over 1,000 drivable services on the full timetable for PC, and over 600 drivable services on the reduced timetable for consoles. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed the stream tonight. We had a lot of fun. I hope you had too. And until next time, thank you and good night.
Before we're actually doing a German stream tomorrow.
Yes.
On the with Trades and Play and on his account, and that'll be at 7 German time, I think. So
we'll shout out about it again tomorrow. Make sure to follow a
few sections of the route we haven't seen yet today, and we'll probably go and look at them tomorrow because it's big. Yep.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lucas, for all of the facts and guidance today.
No problem, as always.
Right, I think on that note, that's it from us. Thanks very much for joining us, and don't forget to join Lucas tomorrow on the German stream. Otherwise than that, enjoy the route. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.